Hey guys, Elite Legionarii here, bringing you a 6-player free-for-all for Rome Total War. As you can see, I'm in command of Macedon, and some of the other factions are the Seleucids under the command of Hector. Let's see, up here we have Parmenion, who's featured in some of my videos in the past actually. He's in command of a pre-Marian Julio-Roman army. That's really cool of him to bring that, but that could be pretty tough for him, I think, but I think it's really cool he's brought it, and it's always cool to see pre-Marian armies. I actually should probably do some more pre-Marian battles sometime. Then there is Bipolar, who is Egypt. It's looking like a pretty standard Egyptian army there. And let's see, up here we have Parthia under Master Clink. I wonder if he's been watching Hogan's Heroes. I think that's a program with Colonel Clink. I might be wrong though. And then there's Jupiter, who commands SPQR Romans. So their action might just zone in here a bit because it gets going very quickly. So I think the Parthian army, as you can see, it looks like it's 6 cataphracts and 2 horse archers. I don't think that's a very good setup, in all honesty. I think it doesn't deal with enough of the, it doesn't put a counter to enemy archers. I think you need a combination of foot archers with it with Parthia. Otherwise you're asking too much of your cataphracts, I think, in my opinion. Unless you're a really good micro, I think that would be very tough. I don't believe I have that kind of micro ability, so it's why I wouldn't do it. But it looks like he had 6 cataphracts just in 2 horse archers. The Roman SPQR had 4 urbans, which I believe were silver gold, 3 Archer Auxilia, which are gold attack. Actually no, it might be 4 Archer Auxilia gold attack, and 3 Praetorian Cav, I think, which were gold. So anyway, on my end of the field, I haven't even outlined my own army yet. What my plan is here is I'm sort of just going to use the edge of the woods here to cover my archers, give them better protection, hopefully bait his archers forward, which is a duel I would win, because not only have I got better cover in this woods, my men are stretched in a more longer line, which means I'll take fewer casualties for each shot. That just makes them hard to protect doing that. But my army consists of, obviously, 5 of those archers, which are, I think they're silver gold, and I believe my infantry were 4 gold royal pikemen, and I have 4 gold companion cav and 2 gold light lancers. I usually like to stick light lancers in my Macedonian armies, but especially if I'm going up against a not necessarily Seleucid, but mostly Seleucid, but a cataphract approach, which is really the only threat I see in this Seleucid army. He's got 5 gold cataphracts. His infantry are gold, or 3 upgrades apiece, and they're 5 silver shield pikemen. A good infantry unit, but it's no match for a royal pikeman. And not only that, mine have got a lot more upgrades. And although he does have 1 more unit, my men will easily punch through them quick enough that it won't make much of a difference. And I think they're gold. 5 or 6 gold archers, so it's still a pretty decent army, but once his cataphracts are nullified, it should go my way. So I actually have to come forward to get into the range, which is kind of annoying, and as you can see, they're still walking, so actually this doesn't start off the greatest for me, but because I've got a more extended line, he's not actually being as effective, and he just pushes straight through here with these cataphracts. And I'll just quickly see if I can catch actually no, I better get back to my action. I don't know if I'll be able to do that in time. He is inflicting casualties on me, as you can see, so I've got too impatient there. I probably should just waited it out, but that fight definitely went his way actually. I only did really one bit of damage, but here he tries chasing me with his cataphracts, and this is brilliant, because I'm just going to turn my attention into shooting them and thin them out. A mass missile fire on clumped cataphracts like this could be extremely deadly, and can be. And as you'll see, I do probably knock off a good, I don't know, everything here I probably knock off a good, I don't know, there's a good number of cataphracts there, as you can see. What I wanted to do was massive wedge charge. Wedge charge, especially for companions, anything with really high charge bonus like them. Scythian nobles are a bit like it too, but companions are a lot better. It has an effect of causing real bad moral shocks to these cataphracts. As you can see, I'm going to pull in a unit of Royal Pikemen to assist, but as you can actually see, I actually won that little engagement there. I came out better off there. Look, he's routed, and that was with companions against cataphracts, which normally would be an easy victory for cataphracts, but if you get them in a wedge formation, sort of like a big blob wedge, normally I wouldn't recommend blobbing at all, but with the high charge of companions and light lancers, if they're in a compact wedge, it really messes with the cataphract's morale, and as you can see, it's just done a massive rout. And I haven't even really got my infantry into the mix yet, and he's trying to pull out of this because he knows he's losing it, and I'm not going to let him get out of it. Once his cataphracts are out of the way, I can most certainly win it. Do some nice close-ups here for you guys. Both units are awesome. Cataphracts are just an awesome unit, but there's several ways to exploit them in my opinion, and that's to their morale is not as good as you'd think, and they can be pretty, if they get things like morale shocks, and wedge does some morale shock damage to them, and surrounding obviously, they really do break quite easily. You just got to do it right. Cataphracts otherwise are extremely tough to beat. Another way is to try to get them to chase your units around. If you're someone if there are people out there who have a bit of trouble with cataphracts, I remember I did when I was starting new, and they still can be tough. But as you can see, I've just managed to rout them full out here because they tire. Once they tire, they break even faster. So if you can exhaust them, that is a really great way of getting them to rout quicker. If you can make them chase you around, like some light cav, chase you around a bit, then you send your heavy cav, and once they're tired, you'll find they will not hold out nearly as long. But they are still very deadly, so you've got to treat them with respect. So here I see an opening. I left a unit of my light lance behind, and here's his archers, and I'm just going to pick all of them out. Look at this, I just rout the whole cluster in pretty much one go with just one light lance unit. Light lancers are a very effective unit. They're very good support to companion cavalry, give Macedon excellent sort of mobility in the cavalry region, and are very good at what they just did here, getting rid of archers, and as you can see, it's mass routed all those archer units, and his cataphracts are now out of the picture too. So this fight is easily mine. These pikemen have got no show, not against my much superior pikemen, and I've got cavalry support and archer support. So that came together quite nicely, and there's the Seleucid general dead. And so I mean, I didn't go without casualties, but I definitely came out on top. And you have to take into consideration that cataphracts. I looked at the Roman lost his general. Cataphracts are definitely better than any cavalry Macedon has, but it just depends on how you use it. It looks like over here the Parthian pulled out of the fight with the SPQR, so he's coming after me. So I did have that on my mind at the time, so that's why I'm pushing forward to get rid of the Seleucid quickly, so I can turn my attention on Parthia. And up here, Egypt is starting to dominate the pre-Marian army of Parmenion. That was to be expected. I'm not saying, not that it's a fault of Parmenion. I'm pretty sure he's a decent player, but it's just that he's using an army that is very much underpowered in my opinion against a very overpowered faction like Egypt. I didn't catch these guys' armies, but I do recall that it was 4 Velites, 5 Stadi, 5 Principe, and 5 Triarii, and a Roman general for Parmenion. And I think it was these 6 units of Pharaoh's bowmen, which are excellent. I think it was like 4 or 5 Pharaoh's guards. I think it was like 3 or 4 Nile cav and a couple of chariots, which is more than a match for a pre-Marian army. Definitely very brave of Parmenion to use a pre-Marian army. Now he doesn't go down easily. I'll give him that much. But these Triarii, I mean, you've probably seen me say in previous videos how completely underpowered Rome Total War made these units. If you study Roman history, they were the 3rd and final line of the pre-Marian army setup, and very, very experienced soldiers. I think they were extremely undercut in this game. They were better than at sword fighting and stuff than Astarte and Principe, and yet they're crapper in this this game. But I mean, some of the mods rectify that. So if you're like me, you sometimes like to see a bit of historical accuracy in the game. You go for that. So over here, I cleaned out the Royal Pikemen pretty easily. I probably should have focused more on my end of the fight, but I do like to show you the other guys too. It's not just me fighting in these FFAs, and some people do make some really excellent moves, and I've definitely learned a lot from watching other people's moves. But these royals will clean out. I remember over here, this unit here got look at this. There's like I don't know, like probably like less than 20 royal pikemen to a whole unit of silver shields, and the same thing here. So and he's just sort of split his units up and he's running all over the place. He's got one unit way up here, and I'm just mopping up any routers with my cab in a moment. So I felt it was a very brief infantry fight here. Literally, this unit, one of these units down here, broke in about 10 seconds, and this one broke in about 30. I wasted them, but I wanted to catch some of this fight up here because as I said, I like to get some of the other guys' fights as well, if possible. So I win my fight. Egypt wins his, and I would say the other one definitely went to the SPQR, but Parthian has pulled out, and he's still going to have a chance of causing some disruption. But the idea, I think what he's trying to do is not a bad idea, trying to pull out and just like wait for opportunities to get kills. After all, what is a squad resolution? My FFAs are usually squad resolution, so for that reason it's best it's not a bad idea to pull out and send reserve and pick at some of the routers of other armies, so you can include your chance of winning in there. But the problem here with him is he's using cataphracts, and cataphracts are actually not good at this because like I said, they get very tired and they actually can't run that fast because of all their armour. It just doesn't work as well. This is where light cav is very useful. Light cav is definitely worth having. So here's a bit of a scrap here between some Triarii and Principe versus these Silver Shields. A fight the Silver Shields shouldn't have much difficulty winning, although they are getting Peter in the back and they are outflanked. But otherwise this would be an easy fight for Silver Shield pikemen. Anyway, so some nice close-ups here. It's always cool to have some cool close-ups, and I must say, even after all this time, Rome Total War still looks really, really good. It's definitely my favourite all-time game, I think, that I've ever played. It's just so good. Even though I do play lots of other games, and that's probably been a while since I've been playing it with much consistency, but you can always come back to Rome Total War after a while and think, yeah, it's been really, I still really enjoy it. Plus you can, on the original there's only sort of 20 maps or something like that, but you can play them over and over, and you can use all the different factions over and over, and it never gets stale because every game's different, every opponent thinks differently, and everything sort of pans out differently. So down there I'm just cleaning out any routers, but I want to catch the most important parts of the fight if I can. But like I said, with Rome, it's just a very, very good game. I really think that Rome 2 has actually got a lot to live up to. In my opinion, this game has just been the best game in the Total War series. Doesn't mean to say I don't think the others are good, because a lot of the others are very good. Looks like Egypt's just trying to get some kills as well. A lot of them are very, very excellent, and overall I think the Total War is one of the best series out there. See these chariots probably just route these. Yeah, look at that instant route. So just quickly over on my end of the field, we're moving to reposition ourselves, and to be honest, when I inspected the SPQR's army, or Jupiter, I was a little concerned about my chances of winning. These urbans are complete strength. I don't even think they touched combat against Parthia. I really hoped Parthia would do more damage. These urbans will have no trouble beating my Royal Pikemen, even though my Royal Pikemen pretty much came out unscathed, except for this unit here that went down about half. The rest didn't even get hurt, I don't think. Maybe lost about 1 or 2 each. I just want to keep an eye on Parthia too, I don't want to miss that action for you. Yeah, in a one-up fight, Royal Pikemen are just going to be no match for Urbans. Any sort of reasonably experienced Rome player will know that very few things can stop Urbans, and they can be extremely annoying and hard to deal with. So I was pretty I didn't think I had a lot of chance there, but I also took into account that I had more archers and I had more cavalry, so it's a wee bit more evened out. Plus, 2 of these archer auxiliary are out of ammo, so just this one's got ammo, so I do have some advantages in my favour, so I give myself it is about 50-50, but he does also have high terrain on me, so I'm going to have to try and draw him down with archer fire. But it looks like this action started over here, but get in quick. Parthia is attempting to catch these Pharaoh's bowmen out. but he got a few of them, but he's getting snagged up. He needs to be sort of pulling in and out, making quick strikes and getting quick routes, and like when he pins one area down he needs to hammer another. He makes a mistake here of going after this when he just needs to get this, but he needs to get just sort of in and out, be quick about it. But once his chariots get here, it's all over, and his cataphracts now are not going to stay the course. So just sort of, when you're doing that kind of thing, you need to get in, knock a few arches off, pull out, and sort of just keep repeating that kind of thing. Be a real pain. And like I said earlier, with cataphracts it's tough because they tire very quickly. So anyway, this fight should be starting, and he's going to outrange me temporarily, but only with one unit, so I'm not too concerned. I'm just moving up, and now I'm getting myself into range. And he's going to, well, it looks like the Parthian general just got killed. He's going to rush me here to try and disrupt me, which is a good idea. But at the time, I don't think I realised that a lot of these units didn't have any. These two units didn't have any arrows until they were like rushing me. So I focused my attention on the other unit, and as you see, they just as soon as they touch me, they die, or rout rather. So that gives me a nice archer edge. So I'll focus all my archers onto this unit. So even though it's a much better archer unit, it's all alone, and I've got many times. I got like 4 units shooting it. He did rout this unit over here though. I think Archer Auxilia are quite a capable unit, and they are very useful, but they're too expensive in my opinion to field. They take too much out of Rome's infantry and cavalry contingent, so unless you're very good with archers or you want to play a real skirmishy game, it's better to just use Roman archers in my opinion. But it doesn't mean Archer Auxilia can't be good, but the price is kind of costly, so you have to kind of decide what's more important. Which is kind of good where 15k comes in, because if people bring Archer Auxilia in their urban Praetorian spams, it will make it a little easier for you, because somewhere in the army will be weaker. Not to say that an urban Praetorian spam's ever weak, even with that in the upgrades, it's still a pain. So what I'm going to do is, I have to have a Peeler shield obviously, otherwise they'll just tear these units down by like 40 or 30 or 40 men each if I don't have a Peeler shield, and I just can't afford that. As I said earlier, these royals are just so much better. I mean, so much outclassed. These urbans are so much better. They so just completely outclass them. But unfortunately, the Peeler shield is not very extensive here, and it doesn't have much effect. And unfortunately, this unit takes a huge bashing. So what I'm going to do is get my cavalry around here and try and disrupt them a bit, get behind them, and I'm going to move my archers out here. And this is where I make a bit of a blunder. I don't protect them very well from his cav, which is a mistake, but they do play a significant and important role. Also, here's another small blunder from me. I didn't put my pikes down here. So I've been playing for a while, but I still make my blunders. So I mean, I'm sure all of you do too as well. Well, probably not as much as me though. But anyway, that unit routs, but I do pin a lot of his units here, and yes, the Peeler are causing some serious issues, but I did screen most of his Peeler, I think, or maybe not. Over here it appears, yeah, that's right, he charged in a smart move, he charged my Peeler screen and it broke. There it goes there. So I'm going to move up. I probably should have phalanx rushed him, but I don't believe my micro was up to doing so. But fortunately I don't take too much damage from the Peeler, so I'm actually doing quite alright, because I'm getting missile fire into their back, and now my cav come in a wedge formation, and his general's right there, and I think I was aiming to try and kill him. But it does start to gives me a bit more time in the fight, but my cav are too exhausted and they rout too quickly. I should have got rid of those Praetorian cav quicker. But his urbans have taken some pretty harsh punishment from this, but of course I'm outflanked here. My general's in this fight, so he's holding the men together. Plus, all that missile fire in the flank is actually doing a lot of damage to those urbans. So, again, get behind enemy units with archers if you can, and you can still protect your men, because you can do a lot of damage. You can turn a fight around very quickly. Urbans are like immortal to fire from the front, but from the back they most certainly are not. As you can see, a lot of this is still saying balance. If it was 1-up-1, no interruptions from archers, these urbans would cream. Over here, that's exactly what's happening. If you look at these urbans, they're just wrapping me, and my men just going down so quickly. Look at this, just go down like flies under this urban assault, and the urbans will not lose a single man. And as the fight prolongs, they get further and further around your troops, and they just start ripping you to pieces. As you can see, they sort of just pin you from the front and stay there, and they just steadily make their way around until they completely surround you. All Roman units do this against phalanxes, but urbans do it with such a annoyingly skilled finesse that it just rips you to bits. As you can see, look at that. That unit's only lost like 5 men. This unit's lost like 30 in the last little bit. So over here, some of my archers are still pouring in fire, and I have really punished these urbans, and I was pretty pleased with myself. I did not think I could win this fight. I felt I was definitely outclassed in infantry. And although I had a slight cavalry advantage, it wasn't that, and I had a decent archer advantage, but I didn't make a very good job protecting them, so it's going to cost me. But I was pretty impressed with my raw pikemen. So as you can see, but 1-up-1, same upgrades, raw pikemen are just no match for urban cohort. Very few things. The only thing that's a match for urban cohort is Spartans, but they're so much more expensive and so uneconomical to employ, and they can't do nearly as much as urbans. I just think urbans are better. People disagree with me, and that's fine. Here he makes a hammer and anvil on my last men. My general just routed, so this unit's going to go any moment now. It's shaken. Well, apparently it's steady. And this unit's gone as well, and it should go as well. I was pretty impressed with my Royal Pikemen. They did a fantastic job, and I really felt I did a pretty decent job against these urbans. I cut them down to half strength, pretty much. And that was actually, in my opinion, pretty decent on my part, considering how long I've been away from Rome when I actually did this video or played this game. But a very close game to Jupiter, but he played well, and he was smart with his cav. He took advantage of my stupid mistakes. But he lost half his urbans, which I was pretty pleased with. And as you can see, there are probably a lot more Macedonian bodies, but there's still a fair share of purple there. So, as I said, pretty pleased with that, really. Even though I got a nice wedge charge straight into the back, I think my cav was just too tired and too exhausted. And I mean, urban morale is just like epic. It doesn't break. Same with Spartans, but I find Spartans are far easier to deal with because, again, being a phalanx unit, they're not as good at. Look at those Romans celebrating. They're not Spartans. I just find that they're so much. They're like 200-300 more expensive than urbans. In sieges they're great, but on walls they're hopeless because they can't use their formation. They're slower, they can't do as much, and of course in campaign they're only recruitable in 2 places. Urban's recruitable anywhere that has like a urban barracks, which is a high-end building, but you can still do it anywhere. Overall, urbans are just better, I think, for practicality, and they can beat Spartans 1-up. I've done it before. It is tough, but it's just like what they did to the Royal Pikemen in this fight. If they can get enough of them around the flanks of the Spartan like that, they will beat them, because the Spartans will just get ripped in their flank and their back, and plus the manoeuvrability of urbans is so much better. And Pila, of course, makes another difference. The only edge that Spartans really have, in my opinion, or major edge over the urbans, is they can completely stop especially it's more noticeable in a 31k game, they can stop the massive wedge charges that people do in 31k that just routes whole armies. So they are good like that because they're a phalanx unit. But I would still choose urbans over Spartans. Plus they look cooler than Spartans. Anyway, this fight's looking like it's going to be a last man for Egypt, but that doesn't tell the whole story, of course, being a scored resolution game. Plus he's going to optimise the height terrain, and I do actually have some units hanging around the back here, but I'm just going to send them in and let them get destroyed, because I know that I might actually try and pick off some of these Roman units, so I still think I might have a good chance, because I killed quite a lot of those urbans, and I killed all those cataphracts, and it was quite a large force Seleucids had. Plus I killed half of this infantry, the cavalry, and the archers, and I killed some pretty high quality units there and did a lot of damage, especially the cataphracts, and of course urbans are a high quality unit, and they lost at least half their number, if not more than that. Yeah, they probably lost about 60-70% of their men altogether. So I was thinking I was in for a pretty good chance to win, because I mean, of course, it factors quality, quantity, what's left, all that in. So I was thinking I had a pretty good chance, and to be honest, I thought to myself I had probably done better than Egypt, who my closest opponent, who defeated a very large, but it was a Premierian army, and they're not super high quality, but those Parthian cataphracts are quite high quality units. So anyway, here come these cataphracts coming in, but they're just not cataphracts, sorry, urbans. They're exhausted though, plus his general dies and he just gets massive numbers down on these really tired and exhausted urbans. So finally they do break, but I mean, a very, very tough unit, and many a times in the past they've just been one of those overpowered, annoying units that have really been just too frustrating to deal with. But I mean, he really had no chance left. There was too much of this Egyptian horde left. So I'm just going to triple speed here, guys, because it's still, well, it's just a wee bit to the end, and it's just picking up routers. And I think I was trying to shoot at anything that was routing with my remaining archer units. Actually, no, they didn't have any arrows, so I'm just going to go in for one suicidal glory charge. And they just rout before I can even do anything, so it's kind of funny. So anyway, that's the end of me. But by picking up those urbans too, that does give Egypt some very quality units as well. So it's a very tight call between me and Egypt who will win. Of course, I already know the answer, but we'll just have to wait a few more seconds before I can discuss what I thought on the situation that unfolded. And here it is. And unfortunately for me, I'm just behind him. I have like 150 or 100, it's about 150 kills less than Bipolar, and his army was a wee bit smaller than mine, nothing too drastic there, but very close game. Sometimes you can have less kills but more quality and it means you win, but overall that was a really close game, and Jupiter fought pretty well too, getting nearly 1,000, so I was pleased with that though. I mean, I killed more than I came with. I think I went down with a hard fight, and I don't mind losing. Like these, I don't mean losing's losing. It's just what happens sometimes. But that's definitely not a bad loss in my opinion. I came off pretty well there, really. My Royal Pikemen, they actually didn't do that great, except for this unit here, 185, 81 for that. They didn't actually do that great. Like I said though, most of their infantry fighting was against urbans, and urbans just creamed them. But apart from this companion cavalry, my companion's got tons of kills. This one got another 200, 130, 122. Light Lancers, 90 and 81. Very excellent little units for assist. And look at these archers, 173, 143, 137, 101. They got really loads of kills as well. So that was a lot of flank shots on those urbans, and they were also cleaning out quite a lot of other bits and pieces of saluted force. So I'm pretty pleased with the overall performance of my army. It came together pretty nicely. It was a really good game to Jupiter, Master Clank, Bipolar, Parmenion and Hector. I enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. And you know, guys, please leave comments if you can. I do enjoy reading comments. It's nice to know what you think of my videos, and I'd really just like to read any comments. You know, you can. I'm totally up for constructive criticism and any other thing like that. It's always good to hear if I could do things better, if you think I could do things better, or whatever. But anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you soon next time.